hit that like button, hit that like button.
Little black dress, don't chase a night one up to hold it, to touch your girl catchy. I know your friends say, bullo ole, or two man in there. Little black dress, don't chase.
We got another one from Ashley.
Say that I've been following you for a while, and I love the advice that you give to these young women, young ladies. Like, I appreciate it and I value it. So my question would be, for a woman who is prone to being ghosted and stood up, what advice would you give to her?
Are you being ghosted and stood up?
I have been.
What's going on that a beautiful woman like this would be getting ghosted? I'm assuming she's gotten ghosted more than once or twice. So what is she doing? Do she got halitosis? She got a BO that we don't know about? Why would somebody ghost her? Let's see what she thinks. Because that's wild. Because she ain't an ugly woman, right?
And I'm feeling like, because I'm a little bit older, I'm in my 30s, but I'm feeling like in this day and age, that is the norm. Instead of breaking it off with someone, men typically would ghost the women without giving them a reason or explanation, not to say that they owe us one. What advice would you give?
I want to ask you this, Nikita. When you are out on your dates and you're sitting, I don't know, you're having dinner or you're walking around or whatever it is that you guys are doing, what is the conversation you're having? Is it heavy? Is it light? What is the energy like on the date?
Oh, well, to be honest, I haven't dated in probably 6 months. So I would say the last time I went out on a date with someone I thought who was prominent, like a very good, well-rounded man, he was the one who ghosted me. And I couldn't figure out what went wrong. I felt like we had a good time. The thing is, I drink. I love wine. He doesn't drink at all. So in my perspective, it's not like he didn't know that I drank wine. To be honest, I met him on a dating app. And in my profile picture, which is the one that I have, my profile here is me holding a glass of wine. So
y'all do know that people who get drunk don't know they drunks, right? Whether that's wine, beer, hard liquor, you do know that they don't know they drunk. And it takes other people to notice and say something for them to actually come to reality at some particular point. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But apparently she understands that her reason for getting ghosted might be related to the fact that she might be a drunk. Let's see.
So it's not like you don't know that I didn't drink, because I'm a wine, I'm not going to say connoisseur, but I'm an intermediate lover of wine.
Let me ask you, Nikita, sorry to cut you off, but did you have a couple of glasses when you were out on your date?
I did.
I think that's...
I did.
Yeah, because he think you a drunk. And quite frankly, I would think you would be a drunk too. And quite frankly, I'd ghost your ass in the middle of the date. I'd be like, oh, hell no. I only had half a glass and she done had 4? That don't make no sense. So she knows. You see her talking about it? So she knows. Okay? My whole point is this. If you wanted to get this man and he was perfect and he was all that in a bag of chips like you say, why didn't you tone that shit down? Why didn't you say to yourself, I'm only going to have water on this date because I don't want to run this man away? But you didn't. You couldn't help yourself. You couldn't help yourself, girl. You couldn't help yourself. Okay, you couldn't help yourself. You had to get some wine. She knows she got a drinking problem. It is what it is.
So you thinking that he didn't like my demeanor that he saw while I was
intoxicated? Yeah.
People don't want to hear no. Why would you think it would be a good idea to get drunk on a date? Why would you think it would be a good idea to come off as a lush on the date? And you probably said some stuff that you shouldn't have said. And he was like, oh, hell no, I can't take her home. She don't know how to self-regulate. She don't know how to control herself. She know. She know.
I wouldn't necessarily say that I was intoxicated. I would say that I drank to... I know my standards. I know my limitations. Am I an alcoholic? Oh, Lord. These... I'm going to try not to look at the comments, but I know my limitations when it comes to drinking. I'm a grown woman. Like I said, I'm in my 30s. I was born in the late 1900s, according to my son. So,
yeah, I guess from the outside,
I hold myself to a standard. Like I'm still a classy woman.
She thinks she restrains herself when she drinks. She thinks she's restraining herself when she drinks. Now, how would you think that you're restraining yourself and you get on a date and you go down Lush Alley? And then he sees that you're down Lush Alley. And he ghosts you. It may not have been your drinking. Now, see, if you went on a date with me, a man went on a date with me, I know it would be the drinking because I don't drink. And I'd be checking for how many times you lifted the bottle to your lips or lifted the glass to your lips. I would be checking for that because I'm not a drinker. Maybe he's the same way. And she mentioned that. That was the first thing she mentioned. Does she mention any other negatives that she could have expressed or shown to him? Does she mention any other, or is it just the drinking? See, you know that it's the drinking. You know you ain't self-regulating. You know you showing the boogeyman under the curtain, behind the curtain when you drink. I'm not saying you get ugly when you drink. I'm saying the fact that you drink and you drink in excess and you don't seem to know that you do that, it's a problem.
Even while I drink. Like I'm not going to be a sloppy drunk or anything like that. Like I still present myself like royalty in a sense, because that's how I was raised. You know, you carry yourself. My grandmother's always taught me how to carry myself. You present yourself in public as a royal woman, regardless of what happens. You just hold your head high, chin up, and, you know, be it as that.
After the date, did you guys go your separate ways?
No. So here's what happened.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Nikita. It felt like maybe y'all, did y'all get together?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we, like I said, we met on a dating app, and we were speaking on the app for a good month before we even connected or met up in person. And
all right, here we go. Here's the script. You see, I did a video on the girl who got played, like her name was Stanley, when he love bombed her, right? He love bombed her, got the panties, then he broke. Here is a 30-year-old woman, and the same thing happened to her. giving up the panties. I'm assuming that's what Ashley meant when she said, did y'all get together? She said, yeah, you got together. So she gave up the panties and then she gave up the panties and got ghosted too, y'all. Not saying this is just a testimony about the women. They're just the ones talking. But it is a testament about the women. You're still giving up the panties and you're getting ghosted. There's nothing wrong with what you did. It's the type of men that are out there. Young, old, fat, skinny, ugly, handsome. They all getting panties and ghosting. That's the male climate out here. That's the male climate out here. You men keep saying, oh, we out here looking for a good woman. You ain't out here looking for no good woman. You out here looking for some good panties. Okay? True enough, she shouldn't have had sex with you as quick as she did. I don't know. Maybe she's prefacing this month-long talk on social media as saying, hey, I did talk to him. I did get to know him. You didn't get to know him very well. And that's the thing. This is when people or women say, you men be lying. Because you do this to women. You do it to more than regular women. You do it to beautiful women. You love bomb, get the panties, and you ghost. That's the bulk of y'all out there. That's not a female problem. And then you bounce after you done had sex, and then you're not using no protection, and then you bounce and maybe leave a baby.
And because of that, maybe it moved too soon, like on a second date. But even after that, we were still going back and forth with each other. And then all of a sudden, it was just radio silence.
Yeah. I would say I think that's what it was. Maybe having a few drinks, which makes us very relaxed. Even if
he did mention something. He didn't tell me what happened, but he said something along the lines of something that happened to his mother in the past because he questioned how much I drank. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm not going to say that I drink a lot because I don't feel like I do. I can continue to carry myself and uphold myself with utmost standard.
Even if you do, Nikita, even if you know how to hold yourself together because you do drink a lot, there's still something there. There's still something there that needs some healing. And even now, I don't know if you had a couple of drinks tonight, but I feel like it's something that you need to dig deeper into. If you're not in therapy, I would look into going to therapy.
Okay.
That's code for you're drunk and you don't know you're drunk. And that's what old boy tried to tell you. There's nothing wrong with being a drunk if you want to be a drunk. Be a drunk, do whatever you want to do, right? But don't sit here and tell us that you hold yourself to a higher standard and you're way above the regular people who drink and the winos on the street. Because that's what you're trying to tell us. You're trying to tell us I hold myself apart from them other drunks that be laying in the gutter. You just may have money. You just ain't made it to the point of being in the gutter. You just ain't lost everything that you own. You ain't never lied to nobody. Maybe you ain't got no man, so you can't lie to him about how much you drink. You ain't got a man, so you can't keep a man because you drink too much. It could be many factors that we don't know. All I do know is you're a beautiful woman and you sitting there all alone and you're only in your 30s. You should have been done had a man. Y'all should be cuddled up with each other. But why is that? You know why. But don't try to spin it like you ain't no lush. Because if you keep mentioning the fact that you drink and you try to hold yourself to a higher standard and the men that you date keep saying something about a drinking, then you a lush, girlfriend. You just need to admit that you a lush if that's the case. The first rule of AA, I guess, is admitting that you got a problem. If you don't admit you got a problem, what you want us to do?